from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Jalen Ertz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Giants ready to go to work on offense, and leading them out, their third-year quarterback from Duke, Daniel Jones.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 30 on second down, Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try to make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways. Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing, Jones. Going right back to Golladay. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Now Jones. And this is Shepard on the catch. Jones and Shepard with a connection there for Giants first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Well, for the first time, we get our look here at the Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts, the second-year quarterback out of Oklahoma.
A lot of expectations for Jalen Hurts this year, but he has the support of the franchise, including the man who owns the franchise. Had a 4-game audition at the tail end of last year and did enough that the Eagles sent Carson Wentz to Indianapolis. They're expecting Jalen Hurts to be their quarterback of the present and the future.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Boston Scott, his first carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Play action. Here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
In the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's the Eagles' new punter for 2021, Aaron Sipos, to punt it away. Kadarius Toney deep for the Giants. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones out to the right here to Shepard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a toss right to Barkley. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? From the gun, Jones, and that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Gano's kick is good. this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Scott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Ertz sets up to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
2nd and 2. Throwing is Ertz. And he'll get this underneath to Scott. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, they run with Howard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Ertz. And this one complete to Smith. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Jalen on for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Open man is Golladay. Complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw again. Looking for Shepard deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, 43 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Here's Ertz to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'll throw on 1st down with Ertz. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll set up to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This is a quick incompletion. This is likely the last play here of this first half. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Ertz and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is caught by Watkins. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. On 1st down, Howard. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the give, running right is Howard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7. Now Scott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Scott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the carry, this is Scott. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He'll get this out wide to Scott. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10.
The kick is good.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing after the interception. Jones. Open receiver. That's Caden Smith, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 2nd down, Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw. Jones. And he'll find Golladay. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That's to Golladay, and he's got it. Touchdown, New York. A 9-yard touchdown there, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Extra point try good by Gano, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Ertz and the Eagles now down 20-10, 2:25 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. On 1st down, Ertz. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Pass complete, it's Scott. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he's got room. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now it's Barkley. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. It's Barkley on the counter. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll drop to throw. Pass complete. Goddard on an excellent tackle there as they keep him in bounds and hold him to no gain. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.